Hi, everybody. How is it going? Excuse me, I look a mess, but it's been a long day. But I wanted to make a video on something that has been kind of heavy on me today. Um, Hopefully, a couple people join. Hi, everybody. Can you guys hear me okay? Because I'm on Wi-Fi, so I want to make sure that you guys can hear me. Okay. So I want to talk about um, grace and forgiveness and how. Hi, Julia. Love you. Um, and I think it's really important because I'm seeing a lot of this is just obviously happening with so many different groups and so many different areas in our world and in our society. Let me tell you where this stems from. So there's a video on my Sisters of the Streets page that I had reposted. Long story short, there was a case where a woman got trafficked and beaten severely by her boyfriend, and he broke. And then the other video that I posted was him in the courtroom breaking down, crying at his bail hearing. Now, this is just where this particular feeling for me stems from. This is not only towards this particular situation, but the comments that are on this video of this man breaking down and crying. Let's clear the slate. Like, let's get one thing straight. Hi, Amy. I do not condone anything that he did. Please believe I am against violence. I am against sexual abuse. I'm against any type of injustice towards anybody. But I also know that I am not judge, juror, and prosecutor. God didn't appoint me that. God appointed me on this earth so I can live by example and love people and forgive them as he forgave me. So my whole point with this is that I kind of got really irritated and confused because there's a lot of people claiming to be Christians and a lot of people claiming to love God and put God first, but in the same note, criticizing and condemning this man for his mistakes, saying that because he's crying, because he's an abuser, and because he's on there crying, that he doesn't mean it. He's just mad because he can't get out and finish the job. He's a beast. He's a monster. He's this and he's that, assuming that they know why this man is breaking down. How do you know what is going through his mind, what is going through his heart, just because you've been in an abusive situation or you can relate to the situation on the victim side, and now when you see a man on the abuser side, he's not allowed to ask for grace, or he's not allowed to have emotions towards the things that he did or who he hurt. I don't think that that is Christian-like. I don't think that that is the way God intended us to live our life. And for me, it seems very hypocritical. So let me tell you, let me make it more personal. I'm going to read your guys' comments in a minute. So a lot of people, I'm just going to say it like straight up, like a lot of people will let a lot of things that I did when I was in the life of prostitution, when I was being trafficked, there was a lot of things that I did that I do not condone, that I know a lot of people that support me now would not condone. I did a lot of things that hurt a lot of other people. I turned girls out that were not 18, which means, for those of you who don't know, means that I am the one that posted their ads. I'm the one that answered their calls, booked their calls. I'm the one that did a lot of these things to these girls. I didn't beat them. I didn't starve them. I didn't do things that maybe my trafficker did to me, but let alone I still did things to these girls. I robbed people. I lied to people. I hurt people. I stole from people. Oh, that's the same as robbing, huh? Okay. Anyways. I I beat people up. I did a lot of things. I assaulted. I did a lot of things, but because I found God and I found my peace and I asked for my forgiveness, most people now that I know that I interact with, they don't even think about those things because I was looked at as a victim. But you can't give me grace for things that I did in my victim mode, but then choose that you don't give grace, the same grace, or the same option of grace to the abuser. I have to forgive the people that hurt me just as I have to hope that the people that I hurt forgive me. So it's no different. That is hypocrisy at its finest. You cannot sit here and say that you support and you forgive, and all these girls are victims, or all these people that were victims of trafficking are forgiven. You were manipulated. You were under pressure. You were doing what you had to do to survive. So are these abusers. You don't think that these men, you think these men are born like that? Just as a woman is not born, oh, I want to be a prostitute, or I want to be a porn star. These men are not born to come out and say, I'm trying to be a killer, I'm trying to be a gangster, I'm trying to be a pimp, I'm trying to be all these horrible things that the world accustoms us to being. They are a product of their environment as well, just as I was, just as anybody else who you claim to forgive and understand and see why they made the choices that they made. I forgot my train of thought. I was trying to read a comment. It's not okay to do that. It's not okay to sit and say that someone doesn't deserve grace or someone is not capable of finding God because of the choices that they've made thus up to that point in their life. Let me read a couple comments. Yeah, my heart breaks for both of them. Yes, it's clear that the thing with this situation and so many situations for like this, for me, it's very clear to see her pain. We can see her pain, and my heart breaks for her pain. This woman was beaten. She was trafficked. She was forced to do things that it's going to take a long time for her to heal. I can relate to that pain. I know that pain. I can see. We can all physically see that pain and hear that pain. But on the other side, can you consider that his pain, you can't see that. You're not seeing. You're jumping to conclusions, not everybody, but most people are jumping to conclusions saying that his pain is fake. Who are you to say that? How do you know how he grew up? How do you know what he has endured in his life that got him to the point to think that what he did is okay, or what he did was acceptable, or what he did in that moment was the only way of survival or the only power that he felt that he had? Who are you to judge the life that he's lived or anything that he's done to another person when you are not perfect? You cannot forgive me, for example. You cannot forgive me or give me a leeway or a free ticket for the things that I've done bad in this world, and then in the same day turn around and call this other person, the abuser, names and call them horrible things and tell them that they should rot in hell and tell them all these things that is completely opposite of what you just preached to me, that you feel about me. That's not grace. That's not right. That's being fake. That's being hypocritical. It's just not okay. I'm going to read a couple more comments. I see the same thing, but God loves the abusers too and wants them changed for his kingdom. Exactly. And it might not be this time. It might take him more times. Yes, no, I don't want him to hurt other people. I don't think it's okay to traffic people. I don't think it's okay to molest kids. I don't think that it's okay to abuse anybody. I don't think that it's okay to murder people. No, I know what right and wrong is. What I'm saying is that you don't get to condemn him for his wrongs, and you have to show him the same grace that you would anybody else. Julia said you can give grace and still hold them accountable. Completely. I completely agree. Yeah, I completely agree. And that's why he will be going to prison and he will be held accountable. I'm sure he's going to endure some horrible things in prison, unfortunately. I don't wish that upon him, but that's my point. Don't wish that upon people. Don't turn around and try to fight evil with evil. That doesn't work. Don't turn around and try to justify breaking a law because you are trying to prosecute somebody for breaking a law. It's all negative. It doesn't work like that. We have to be examples. We have to be changes. We have to really live by what we're saying. If you preach love and you preach peace and you preach grace and you preach forgiveness, you have to live by that on all people, not just the people that you agree with or you choose to. God says love all people, not the people that you approve of, or not the people that you feel worthy or you feel deemed to be able to grasp your love. God said love all people. Hey, Alexandria. Yes. Everything but God, but God, but God. Like, you don't know what the intention. God knows. He doesn't only know her heart, the abused heart. He knows the abuser's heart as well. He knows the murderer's heart. He knows everybody's heart. He has purpose not only for the people that you feel have a reason to have gone through the fire. Like, he has a purpose for everybody. He has a purpose for every single person's battle and struggle. And just because you have been a victim of something that is unfortunate, or you have been a victim of something that it triggers you, you are putting yourself in the same category as a person living with evil in their heart, to a certain extent, because you're not doing the act, but you're doing the opposite of what God asked you to do, and that is to live with grace and to live with forgiveness, and that's for all people, like I said. Marlene said, all judgment is a sign of pride, and God has called us to humility. So reconciliation is possible for all parties. You're a beautiful warrior of God's love in how you've humbled yourself with your own example to bring light to this. Well, thanks. That's sweet. Paula, what's up? I'm glad you're listening. Yeah, and I don't really know where else I was trying to go with this, but I just really wanted to talk about this because it's just really hard to sit and watch people bashing people, and it's not just this situation. Like I said, it's every situation. It's this pro-life versus pro-choice. Oh, God only loves you if you're on my side. God only loves you if you're on this side or on this side. God only loves you if you... No, he doesn't. You made that up. Society made that up. God loves everybody. God has a place for every single person. God would not go to the Women's March and condemn one group or condemn another group or side with either group. God would go and know each individual and understand their perspective and understand their reason for being right there where they're at. And you know what he would do? He wouldn't convince them that they're right or wrong. He wouldn't bash them. He wouldn't tell them how they're going to hell or how they're just a disgrace to women. He wouldn't tell them any of that. He would love them. And by him loving, they would naturally be drawn to him and his example. All this back and forth, all this, we're for Trump, we're against Trump, all this stuff is simply division, exactly what the enemy wants. Forget what the government wants. The enemy wants this, and we're all just playing into it, feeding into it, and it's so frustrating to sit back and watch, especially when you're sitting here trying to make a difference in the world, and you can't even get through to people because they're so blocked by their own prejudice or their own bias or their own opinions Instead of understanding the world from somebody else's perspective, we know you understand it from your perspective. That's why it's your perspective, your opinion, your thoughts. You're the one that we know. We know that you feel how you feel. So take a step back outside of yourself and try to understand how another person feels instead of trying to bash into their mind why they should agree with you. Wake up call. If somebody feels and has values, most likely you cannot change their mind. My teacher, actually, I really want to give this example. So I was in business class. What's wrong with my phone? I was in business class the other day, right? And my teacher gave an awesome example to just like all of this. And he said, you know, like if I own a restaurant, right? I own this awesome steakhouse, and I come and you're a vegetarian, and I come and I give you a 99% discount on this amazing filet mignon that usually costs $100 a plate, and I come and I give you this coupon for this steak to be $1, are you going to come to my restaurant and eat it? If you are truly a vegetarian and you truly have that value instilled in you and you've worked your whole life to honor that, no, you're not going to come and take no amount of money, no amount of persuasion, no amount of anything that I can tell you about this steak is going to sway you away from your values. I'm not saying that's always the case. People can be swayed, but that means that value was not that deeply instilled in them. My whole point with that and saying that is that there is no point in trying to be factual in telling someone this is right, this is right, this is right, this is right. The more you do that, just like a child, the more you tell a child they can't do something, can't do something, can't do something, the more they're going to want to try it. So the more you keep trying to bash your opinion and your idea onto somebody or tell somebody why they need to think like you, the more you're turning them off and the more closed-minded that you look. So I think what I wanted to leave people with is just live by what you say. Be careful. Think about the words that you're saying on your day-to-day basis. Think about the things that you're posting. Think about the qualities that you're attaching yourself with, that you're claiming are instilled in you, and really analyze your life and your day-to-day basis and your comments and your posts and your pictures, and really analyze if you're living that out, if you're being a true testament to what you're saying. Analyze your relationships. Analyze what you do in your time when you're by yourself. Analyze how you interact with people in the world. Analyze your opinion and your thought process. Are you actually being a biased thinker? Are you giving grace to only people you feel deserve it? Or are you giving grace to everybody? As God said, we all deserve. As God has given all of us. So if God did that, who are you to think that you are above God to not give anybody grace? And you don't have to be anyone's best friend to give them grace. You don't have to agree with what people do to give them grace. But you also do not get to condemn them. You also do not get to call them names. You also do not get to tell them that they are not worthy or that they're going to hell or that they are the devil or any of the above or whatever you can say to somebody. That's not your place. God did not appoint that position to you. So I just encourage you to analyze what you say and pay attention to make sure that you're living by your words. And I think that's all my point was. I hope you took something from that, and I hope that it kind of helps you. It helps me, too. I'm not saying that I don't do this. I'm just saying I hope that it helps you pay a little more attention to how you are interacting with other people that are outside of your box, that are outside of your norm, that are outside of maybe things that you accept. So Marlene said, yeah, because, hi, Lauren. Hi, Andrew. We all have to answer to God for our prideful words that didn't accomplish what He wants. Humble ourselves. Yes. Humble, humble, humble. And do unto others as you would like them to do unto you. Even if you're not, don't have a strong relationship with God, or that's not really your thing is God. Live by the golden rule. And realize that there's going to come a time in your life, if it hasn't already, that you're going to need grace and you're going to need acceptance and you're going to need people to hear you and to understand that you made a choice out of desperation, or you made a choice out of ignorance, or you made a choice just out of pain. Make sure that you remember one day that's going to come, and you're going to wish that people showed you mercy and showed you grace. And keep that in mind while you're judging other people or trying to push your values or your views onto other people. Anyways, I got to go get my kids. I'm over here making a live video. My kids need to be picked up. So peace and love to everybody. Have a good start to your weekend. Tomorrow's Friday. Stay positive, stay motivated, and say hello to a stranger today and make someone smile. All right. See you guys later.